the Mars gas, which is very much available. Even you will find when we dump some, there is a weeds of a rice weeds, or it is called when you dump over a land surface, you will find some sort of gases coming out after a few days. Or if you would this particularly rice straw, if you remove it with water, you will find some sort of gases is coming out. So that gas is considered as the methane gas. So this type of gas we are often contributing in the atmosphere. By knowingly or unknowingly, this methane gas is a major contributor in the global greenhouse effect, or that is called a greenhouse gas or greenhouse effect. So greenhouse effect, this global warming is responsible for greenhouse effect. Now greenhouse effect, it is in two ways. It is necessarily evil-like situation. In the case of plant kingdom, when we discuss about the transpiration, where it is important as well as it is also harmful for the plant. Similarly, global warming or greenhouse gas, the main cause of global warming is greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas is essential for human living or livestock on the earth. At the same time, it is also harmful element for increasing the global warming and the climate change. So that is need of the hour, and that has not been able to address by the world scientist body, and they are organizing different. There is an international there is conference one after another, but still it is not finalized. So that I would like to discuss in the next few slides. Next slide, please. Now greenhouse effect, that is some solar radiation is reflected by the earth and the atmosphere, and you see most radiation is absorbed by the earth's surface and warming. If you see at the same time, you will find some of the infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere. Sun is absorbed and re-emitted in all directions by greenhouse gas molecules. The effect of this is to warm the Earth's surface and the lower atmosphere. So infrared radiation, you see this is the situation. Actually you see this is the Earth's surface where you will find the ozone layer. That I have already been mentioned about it, little bit how it is reflected back and ultimately increasing the temperature. That I have already been discussed. So next slide. Impacts of greenhouse effect. This effect is very essential for keeping Earth's temperature at the right levels for all life forms such as animals, plants and humans on Earth to survive. They act much like a blanket, keeping in warmth from the sun. If there were no greenhouse gases, the Earth would be minus 18 degrees centigrade, cooler than the present atmospheric temperature. So this is one of the positive impact of greenhouse gas. Next slide. Why do we blame greenhouse gases for climate change? Next slide, please. Why do we blame greenhouse gas? Because today's problem is that we are releasing too much of greenhouse gases. This results in trapping heat below the atmosphere, which leads to global warming that ultimately influences the Earth's climate. This is the main sources of global carbon dioxide emissions. You see, one of the sources, a combustion of fossil fuel. Then one is called volcanic eruption. You will find oceans of the earth, breeding and decomposition of plants and animals. Because increasing population here, this is one of the major contributor of sources of carbon dioxide emissions in the earth. Land use changes and deforestation, then power generation, transports, and it is called this process land internal process and forest and wildlife. These are all are contributing an amount of carbon dioxide in the atmospheric global greenhouse gas composition. Next slide, please. Greenhouse gas emissions. This is the continuous. These are the different components in greenhouse gas emissions. You can find on the slide. It is very easy to understand how much amount of gases are contributing in each way, and the percentage available in this slide. Next slide. Annual carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuels by country 1999 to 2018. Up to 2018 data is available. So I have used this data, how the different there is an emissions fossil fuel by different country. Here the topmost position is occupied by the China. Second is USA, Before 2000, up to 2015, it was United States of America which occupied the first position in producing carbon dioxide, that is greenhouse gases. Now it is China which is producing almost 2.5% more than USA in contributing greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Thereafter, we will find the USA, the Russian Federations, then Japan, and with the India. Indians are also contributing a handsome amount of carbon dioxide, and we are in the 5th position. Earlier, we were in the 7th position. Now we have increased to 4th, and our honorable Prime Minister has promised he would like to reduce up to 30% of his consumption by 2030. In this recently held conference on UN biodiversity, there is an international events took place in Vienna. So in that situation, these are the major contributions recent warming due to greenhouse gases. This is the situation you will find from this slide. It is very easy to understand that how much we are starving with the increasing global carbon dioxide and the global greenhouse gases in the present context. Next question. Now, timeline of global carbon dioxide levels. You see, in the year 1750, what is its value? 280 ppm. ppm is parts per million. What is parts per million? It is a different value. One can easily get out how the parts per million is calculated. It is very much available. You can get it from that point of view. Now, in the year 1750 to 1958, almost 200 years after, it is 315 ppm. Now it is 1993, you will find 360. In the year 2002, it is 372. Rapid increase from the last few decades. From 1993 onwards, because the UN Convention on Biodiversity Convention took place in the year 1972 in it is called in Brazil. In that convention, the first discussion on the global greenhouse gases was discussed. Thereafter, we will find in the year 1992, another conference took place in Cairo. It is called in Cairo Mission. Then we will find 2002 in Japan, Kyoto Protocol. Thereafter, in 2012, it is called in Netherlands. And gradually, this type of conferences are taking place one after another, but world body is unable to solve the problem. It is gradually increasing about the contributions by the developed countries in the contribution of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And as a result, the developing countries and the underdeveloped countries are suffers. Now, the international body like World Health Organization are taking the different health pattern or health growth index, or it is called a body mass index. Also, some parameters have been discussed that the global greenhouse gas emissions are one of the important causes in disturbing the life pattern and the body growth of the human being over the period of time. That has been addressed in the coming days, and this is another aspect. By 2100, you will find 650 to 700 ppm of carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. If it is going on, then almost we can lose the there is called winter season, which we are now enjoying. For the last few days, we are in very cool weather, and maybe in the year 2050 we may lose this situation. Whenever we will be alive, there is an alive or not, that is not a concern. But our generation, those which will be available on the by 2050, they will be much disturbed, and a situation will come which will cause a havoc to the human civilization. So there's a great impact on human civilization. That's why it is the issue of the today's hour that we have to address it properly. Otherwise, our next generation, which the term which is called sustainable development, will be disturbed, and we can't able to. We will not be in a history, because we will be considered as the most heinous and most self-centered civilization, where we will not able to continue a good living optimum atmosphere for our new generation. We will be held responsible.